Castle.
This is game over.
And we are tuning in a little bit later than usual
This ends
on
now.
the Overwatch match against Huntington from Indiana. And it looks like Otterbein's already straight up on Flashpoint. They're already at 99%. Map of
How's my activating Tiger Strike sequence?
Score 1-0.
So first win goes off to Otterbein, end of space right here, that tracer. So Otterbein coming off an 0-4 record, and Huntington also coming off an 0-4 record. Otterbein, I talked to Coach Matt Cole for a little bit of insight on what they're looking at, and he says he's looking to experiment a little bit. What is your opinion?
We'll find out there.
So I think that this will likely be a very close game. It looks like, seeing as both these teams are on a losing record, and I think that this could be a very interesting show of skill in this match.
I agree. All right, going right into it, right off the Korea map, I believe. Pushing straight in that. Looks like Rock is pushing straight into there. I like their comp though, going with the D.Va, Tracer, Venture, Lucio, and Kiriko. Definitely a very mobile bunch, I can tell you that.
Definitely seems like they're able to get around quite fast.
Tracer pushing in, getting right on the point, pushing that Orisa off. Great
An excellent
push.
recall.
And now they are capturing point. Trying their hardest. All right, looks like they've got point to start. Overwatch, great defense by Overwatch. I can absolutely say that. Overwatch is a little choppy through their past few games, but they've also been very, very tough opponents, as far as I've been told. Ooh, great rewind. Ooh, great rewind and great pushback by that Tracer. Just trying to keep good damage flow, but also trying to stay on point. D.Va pushing straight up, getting some great damage. Use that defense matrix to keep those projectiles off.
Initiate defense matrix.
Doing a great job of staying alive during this one.
Absolutely, D.Va pushing back. Looks like D.Va's got her ult now. First ult for Otterbein. Might end up using it, throwing out some rockets. Mobility, trying to keep it condensed, but also trying to push forward a little bit, trying to keep some good damage rolling. Kiriko got their first ult as well. Forward, great push, and separating that. It's just absolutely separating that hero. And Nail from Huntington.
He's able to get out of that real quick.
May have thrown up a little bit of a wall. Pushing back. D.Va's a little low on health, but looking all right. End of space, pushing straight in, just trying to get a hold on point. D.Va out of mech, gets her new mech instead of using their ult. Fair enough. That makes your back point. You might as well use it. And that's a 10-player kill streak for that D.Va. Great job by Otterbein. Just hold the point down, keeping Huntington off of it. Great push. Good wall by Huntington as well.
Doing an excellent job keeping it back at the point.
Absolutely, I agree. Moving back a little bit. Pushing in. And also doing some damage.
All these ults coming out right now.
Absolutely. All of them pushed out right at the end. It looks like Otterbein. Oh, never mind. I'll eat my words on that one, going straight for the contestant first. And that's a 15-player kill streak for their D.Va. Great job by Otterbein. And another team kill, and that will be the first win of the night for Otterbein.
Excellent first sight.
Great first match. Let's see what that play of the game may look like. Looks like it was that D.Va. Well-deserved. 15-player kill streak. I'd say definitely well-deserved. Hacked by Soma, especially wasn't a banned hero beforehand. Destroy, push forward again, another destruction. All right. Great play by Otterbein, I can tell you that. Welcome up. Here's us back in the booth finally. So what's your opinion on that round?
I think that they had a very dominant hold throughout the entire match.
I can agree. I agree. I think they definitely had some good. I think they had some good mobility. I think they're looking very condensed. They're looking together, which I think is the greatest part of Overwatch, because in Overwatch, I'm going to sound like a broken record saying this for like at least the 15th time. Staying together and working like a team is the #1 thing you can do. That is the play of the game. That is the name of the game. Teamwork makes the dream work. This isn't like Team Fortress 2 where you can split off, do your own thing, throw a few bullets out there. But hey, they got it done, and we love Otterbein for that. At least we got our first match win so far, and our match about 2 weeks ago got our first win there, so then brought to game 4. So glad Otterbein is definitely starting to see. I'm starting to see some formation there from Otterbein. What are you thinking?
Absolutely. I think that they're doing an amazing job staying cohesive and together as a unit for that set that we observed, and that they're being very smart with knowing when to disengage, which is
Knowing
huge
when to disengage.
with such a massive respawn timer. in
Very
Overwatch.
wise. Very wise. Absolutely. I can definitely say that. They're keeping an eye on the time. They're starting to see how sometimes opponents are definitely not worth going for, so they just turn it back, go back to the point. I think that's a great tactic by Otterbein. Instead of trying to separate and push away, like we've seen in our past few matches, where they will push solo on a team of 3 people. You're not gonna win.
Absolutely.
At least, in my experience, either it's a very slim chance or you're just not going to win. It's win or loss
It's
at that rate.
significantly more difficult. Yes. I would
Definitely.
agree.
I mean, it also depends on what you're going up against. If you're a Hazard playing up against something like Lucio, you're definitely going to get thrown off the map if you're going across those edges.
100%.
Absolutely. So definitely some cohesion there from Otterbein. I'm starting to see how they're starting to play a little bit. Looks like there may be some roster switch-ups from Huntington and Otterbein. Looks like it may happen. Looks like for Otterbein, we got Powerful Lad, Rock, Lebo, Danger Girl, and Battleborn. Then on the Huntington side, we got Soto, Lutra, Marshmallow, Jumbo Shrimp, and the 987655. Definitely interesting roster. Definitely some interesting names. I feel like gamer tags is something that we don't look at during game time. I definitely don't bring them up enough, so I'm glad to be at a good screen to see how everyone's looking.
I would definitely agree. I think that there's some pretty good names out there, and that it matters who the person is as well.
Absolutely. I think sometimes they even have stories behind them. Like my old username, Funky Tree, it always went back as just the first username I was ever given when I first got on my first Xbox 360. So I decided, you know what, let's stick with it throughout an esports career of just 2 years. But glad to be back in the booth. I'm glad to be in the booth. I'm glad to be playing. I'm glad to not be playing and be watching, because I think this team's got it down. Absolutely.
I think that they can hold their own very well.
Absolutely, I would agree. And we will be right back with you when the next match starts.
Okay.
Back on in the booth. Looks like we're going right back into game 2 on Kings Row of all maps. Kings Row, I've said this once, I'll say it again. Very interesting map, based in London of all places. We love our English friends. It's a hybrid map, so they have to take a point and then they have to move that payload from said point to the next objective. Very mobile map, very stylish map, especially with the future theme. of Overwatch 2. I think it's just a very interesting retrospect, and it gives you new vision into what the future may look like here. I'm not sure the exact timeline of Overwatch, but here down the road, it may end up looking like this eventually. So Otterbein starting out on defense. Looks like they've got themselves a Ramatra, a Pharah, a Bastion, a Wu Yang, and a Kiriko. Again, looks very, very mobile. Looks like they're getting a bit more sky-based characters, and Ramatra could absolutely be a destroying force anywhere.
Well, if I see any twigs,
I think that this map can also be very effective for mobile characters with all of the different levels that are able to be reached. It creates a lot of strong angles.
Strong angles, I would agree. All right, Ramatra throwing out some quick, easy damage. Good, great start, great start. Looks like Otterbein trying to stay in the back where Ramatra pushing up a little bit. Not too horrible of a tactic, but I'd say just make sure that your team's somewhere nearby there. Great shield by Ramatra blocking up all that damage.
Excellent support. Excellent support.
Absolutely, we love that. We love our backbones that way. Ramatra throwing out some decent damage there. Pharah up in the air. Throwing out a few little rocket bursts, flying right up, and just trying to go right above. Nice kill. Oh, that's 2 for Pharah right there. Can they get 3? And that's 3. But great double team by Pharah and Ramatra.
Holding some excellent pressure there.
Absolutely. Great pressure by Otterbein, just trying to get them away from that point best they can. Staying up in the air, throwing out decent rockets. Way up there, throwing out some great damage. Checking on our Bastion over there back in the back line. Alright, a little low on health there. Good damage, taking damage by that Orisa, and takes out that Orisa while they're at it.
Excellent play from Kiriko.
Swapping into the machine gun mode. Looks like they have something a little bit up there from that ping, but it might have been hard to destroy, and the ping just lasted. So Otterbein holding great defense on this point. Huntington having a whole 2 minutes, 25 seconds to get to that point. 2 minutes, it's a very long time, especially in a game like Overwatch, where things can even go to overtime.
I mean, the whole game can change within 5-10 seconds.
Absolutely, Otterbein could be decimated right now, but we wouldn't know until it happens. Good damage, and that's an ult from Sombra. Snuck right into their backline, but got destroyed afterwards.
A very effective
Great
distraction.
Oh, absolutely. Wu Yang backing up. Ult from Wu Yang to the side. Great heals, and that's a team kill from Otterbein.
Beautifully.
Perfect.
Well done. Well done.
Very well done by Otterbein. Great aerial advantage from that Pharah. I'm just trying to maybe scope out, seeing what Huntington might be up to here and there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
As you should. Going right up, Pharah, throwing out a good few bits of
Bastion
damage.
ulting.
Bastion ult. No damage from that. Backing up, going right above them. Can they get away? Gets away and tries to go for a bit of health. Ramatra going straight in with those punches from that Kiriko ult. Taking a double kill, Ramatra. Great shield by Ramatra. I said that ironically. Talking about Sombra in the back line, maybe trying to push them away. Sombra, one of those annoying heroes, I can tell you that. Played her when she first came out. Wasn't the greatest fan, but I think that she definitely has her strengths and getting in the back line.
I think she does that a very excellently done. And
Absolutely.
One of her strongest points is being able to get in, get damage, and get out very quickly.
I gotta agree on that one.
Excellent.
Ramatra, oh my goodness. 15-player kill streak once again. Damage trying to get that Orisa. Blocking a little bit, but that Ramatra will eventually go down. Looks like Huntington's finally on point. Pharah throwing out a good few shots. Might just trying to push them off point. 6 seconds remaining in the match. That's a Bastion ult. Okay, and looks like that will be a win in the books so far for Otterbein in this round.
Switching sides.
Looks like the rounds are going to swap.
Very strong hold there from Otterbein. Kept it tight.
Absolutely, and that hold is definitely going to benefit them on offense because now they only need that point at that rate. They only need the point.
And that'll be the round.
Yep, and that'll be the round for Otterbein. Hopefully that'll be a win.
Yep.
Looks like Otterbein inching towards a 2-0 match so far. Again, both teams 0-4, so this is definitely a gladiator championship here.
Doing a very good job fighting. Very strong. You can tell that these players really want this win from both sides, playing very scrappy.
Absolutely, I think that they're both fighting for it, and they're in every right to do so. I agree. Let's see, what's it look like on the other side? Looks like Otterbein taking the Zarya Widowmaker pick. Interesting. Widowmaker, a very ranged hero. Might fit in with the comp. Juno, Wu Yang, and a Bastion. All right, Bastion I could definitely see some heavy damage from, but that Widowmaker might have to do something to compensate. Being in the back line and just being a lot more ranged might be an interesting play, but I do see where the appeal is. Just trying to stay away, take a few pokes, just do a little bit of damage here and there.
Absolutely. I think that Widowmaker can be very, very situational, and we'll see if this is the right situation in this match.
Absolutely, looks like they're pushing straight in with that Zarya. The grenades. Push in. Great damage.
Very
Great
excellent.
damage. Very great damage. Oh my. Pushing away that soldier. Will they take him out? No.
Strong.
Trying to get on that point as quick as they can. Trying to take it.
It's a very
And
excellent
Otterbein's already on point. That might just be the round right there. Just gotta get that summer up there. That's a triple kill. That's a 5-player kill streak right there. Hold them off. Great shields. And looks like Otterbein might just do it.
Might just be it.
And that is, yep, that's a match round for Otterbein. That's a match win.
That pulls it up to 2-0.
All right, that's 2-0 for Otterbein in that match. Let's see what this play of the game looks like. Random box right in the screen. Lebo as Bastion. All right, let's see how this play of the game looks like. Great damage. Wow. All right. Pick up their flyer. Another, oh my, that's 4 right there. Oh my.
Quite impressive.
What about that play of the game?
That was very good trigger discipline. Very strong recoil control.
Strong recoil control, trigger discipline. I think it was just overall just a great play.
Absolutely. Very well timed.
Very well played by that Bastion. Will Otterbein take it away for 4? Will Otterbein take it away for 3 and take their first win, become 1-4? We'll see. We'll be right back with you in match 3. into the match, everybody. Going back into game 3 on Junkertown of all maps. Again, one of those, it's just a straight payload map, which is, you can't complain about it.
Can be very tight though, because there aren't necessarily checkpoints all the way throughout, except for the very large checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2. And
Absolutely.
5.
Yeah, those checkpoints, that's typically where a game is just, it's either win or loss right at those points.
They can definitely be a strong deciding factor in the result.
I
of every
agree.
single game.
All right, let's see. What's Otterbein and what is Huntington looking at? Looks like Otterbein taking a Winston decision, I believe that is. Yep, taking the Winston decision with Symmetra and Ashe as their DPS, and they got Ana and Wu Yang as their supports. Ana very ranged, and Wu Yang I'm still learning how they exactly operate, but Ana I know is ranged, got their sleep, can anti-heal to make sure that you can't get any heals from anybody. So definitely a great decision by Otterbein. And then Huntington looks like they got themselves a Bastion,
5, 4,
a Sombra, a Mercy, a Wu Yang.
attackers
And
incoming.
a hazard.
No, that's a Mauga. A Mauga. 2 miniguns, definitely something you want to watch out for.
Puts an excellent pressure on the field, especially when you get up close.
Absolutely. Looks like Otterbein going for a mix of both range and range and mobility at the same time
I guess
with that.
is a hazard.
Absolutely. Winston pushing in, getting a few melees in. Great shields.
That's excellent. That's driving it back.
Great pressure. Winston pushing up. Oh, that is a hazard. I apologize.
Keeping them all the way back in spawn.
Absolutely great plays by Otterbein. I can definitely see the tactics going. They are very aggressive. Otterbein is looking extremely aggressive here.
They're doing an excellent job keeping them back. Playing very defensive.
Absolutely, I can definitely see the appeal for that. Ana. Throwing out a few little bursts of electricity there. Moving around. Just keep throwing them out as much as they can. Let's see how that Ashe is doing on damage.
Winston doing an excellent job keeping hazard off the top.
Very, I can definitely see I can see the appeal on that. Just trying to keep that hazard at bay. Great damage, great damage.
Keeping them out of Otterbine's back line is pretty vital when it comes to hazard.
Absolutely, I can see a tactic Otterbein's playing with here, just trying to keep them off point as best they can, but will it work is the issue. Is it going to work compared to the last tactics? Look at that Sombra just eating into that Winston over there.
Winston doing their best to keep away from the Sombra, keep alive.
All right, looks like Huntington has made it the first checkpoint, extending the time to 4 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. And counting.
Payload's moving. It really shouldn't be.
Decent mobility here. Just trying to, again, pack it all together. Oh, Winston going straight from behind, getting that shield in.
Very strong.
And hacked. Winston's down, unfortunately. All right, looks like some of that Venture. Venture's down as well. Almost all of Otterbein has their ults besides that Ashe and that Venture. Backing up. Let him take a few picks.
Looks like Otterbine's tank switch. Zarya.
Great damage. Just trying to get a few pokes in, trying to push him away. But what is that going to be enough to keep him off point is the good question. Are they going to throw in Bob here? Yes, they are. Bob is Ashe's ult, and it's just a big old tank that they have to deal with. There's another person they have to deal with at that rate.
You know, Bob actually counts as another player when it comes to payloads, which can be very effective when it comes to keeping
In terms of defense and offense, because that defense they can start pushing them. They can start pushing the payload back.
hazard ultimate.
It doesn't come out to be too much. Ashe taking heavy damage here.
Ashe down.
That Ashe down. Looks like we're swapping back to that Zarya after a swap from Winston to Zarya. Otterbein holding that point down a little bit. Just trying to keep him off that payload. There's still 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the match. Looks like one of their DPSs swapped from Ashe to a Reaper. Reaper, a very deadly hero, as we've said before. As soon as they get in their back line, if they're really good, they can just decimate. They can get a team kill like that.
I think Reaper does excellently, especially when it comes to disorganized teams.
Alright, putting down the shield. Great. Oh my, that beam is ready to go. And that's an ult. And the Huntington is just trapped right there. That's 2. That Mercy just providing great heals, trying to retreat as best they can. So will it be enough? We shall see. Great damage, great damage. Back up a little bit. Sombra sitting right there off that heal. So the Sombra went down as well. Again, at 90% beam. That is great damage.
That's 90% all that often.
Absolutely. Looks like the match has come down to 1 minute 50 seconds remaining on the clock.
Reaper getting in there to their back line.
As you should. And that's 100% beam now. The damage trying to find their way around. Beam's going down. Oh, that's a Bastion up there. Will that Zari be able to take care of him?
Taking heavy damage up there.
And that's a Sombra hack. It's a Wu Yang ult as well. Moving around, moving back.
We're switching off to the Bastion.
Interesting.
Coming straight back from spawn.
Bastion's just trying to rush his way in. Looks like Huntington might have this payload though. It's like Huntington, they're 1.57 meters on there. Otterbein is trying to push to just contest that point so they can get that checkpoint. And then if they hold that off, they can push it back and it'll keep it within a minute. Look, they move double that distance now, and it looks like they cannot prevent Huntington from getting that.
It seemed as that checkpoint was taken, that can be very tough for Otterbein to come back from that.
Extremely, I agree. Reaper probably got a good few bits of damage, trying to take care of that Sombra, but just it's way too fast. Alright, is it possible he may go in the back line? He's trying to maybe throw out a few shots to just distract. Okay, decent damage, Hacks. Pushing away, got a double kill somehow. Alright, good play. Trying to look at that Ana. Trying to switch heals, and that's another hack on Sombra. And Sombras, they're just absolutely deadly in that back line if you can tell.
A well-played Sombra can be very scary when it comes to supports. If you don't have the support of your DPS and tank, Sombras can just rip through your back line.
Sounds like a Bastion ult incoming. Didn't turn out so much. Throwing Bastion doing some really good damage there. Great grenade. Back up to go back around. Huntington's still great on that payload. There's still a minute left in the match. Good shots. Might be going for that ult. Backing up.
Some very heavy damage.
Very. I can agree on that.
Desperately trying to keep Huntington back.
It's like a hazard ult, and everyone's trapped now. And that's a Sombra ult to back it up. Looks like they're just throwing in for desperation time at that point. Looks like a 5-player kill streak for Otterbein. Reaper holds them off. Will they have enough time to hold it off for the round? Looks like there is about 20 seconds remaining in the match. Trying to keep that Sombra off point. And that Sombra's gone. All right, about 12 seconds until Huntington has to get to that point. 10 seconds remaining in the match and counting.
It's going to be a very tight match.
Very. Going up. Might be trying to direct to overtime by Hazard. Oh, they're dragging it. They're going to drag it right out.
When both teams are on point, this can be very tough.
It looks like overtime. Will everyone else be there to catch it? Looks like that Sombra's coming right back. But will it be worth it?
Will it be enough?
No, it will not. Otterbein taking another round win.
Let's see if they can keep the payload running for the next round.
All right, looks like Otterbein taking their first run of this match, and now the sides are going to swap.
Otterbein's got to meet 91 meters if they want to take this dub.
That is going to be a very tough distance. I will tell you that. You pretty much you have to win it all at that rate. You have to win the rest of this match.
You have to be able to get right to the very end checkpoint. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough for Otterbein to win this one.
Extremely tough. All right, again, Junkertown, interesting map, very new map. Well, not the newest map, but still just looks interesting. It's a very fun map in my experience.
A much more open map than some others. Like compared to King's Row, it's a lot more open. And
Yeah,
less
it doesn't
linear.
feel condensed. Like there's of course there are choke points, but it feels like it's definitely a whole lot more open.
Especially during that first run. It's very open, very easy to be flanked, to be covered by multiple angles.
Let's go. Otterbein taking a pick on a Zarya, a Bastion. I can definitely see Bastion working. Bastion's working the entire night. Reaper, maybe to sneak into that back line. Then Ana and Wu Yang for their supports. Ana, that very ranged hero, and Wu Yang still. Hazard, interesting play blocking off their spawn to start. Might just be playing a little bit of trickery there. Zarya pushing right up. Sticking with the team, but trying to keep that push going to add a bit of pressure. I want to throw that shield on there so you can get a bit of damage.
Very dealing some great damage with her grenades. Having an excellent job keeping track of the
Absolutely, I can agree on that statement. Pushing forward. Great push, great push, great push. Looks like took at their mercy. Yep, their mercy's right down. Perfect. If they're down support, sometimes that can be enough to turn the tide right onto your side.
Oh, absolutely. Without your support, DPS fall. That Hazard's taking heavy damage.
I can see with the Hazard almost down, I'd imagine. Imagine the Hazard's becoming very close. Punching it in. Just trying to throw out a few little rocks there. Otterbein, Zarya, just trying to keep a good bit of movement. Mercy, that Mercy was low once again. That Mercy's been getting low all night. Good assist on Soto, and Soto's down for Huntington. So Otterbein's about 4.42 meters from hitting that checkpoint. Contested, Mercy's back, right at it. Again, very mobile.
Every single time.
Looks like they're forced down again. Bastion on Bastion battle. Ends up losing. Reaper backing up. And they're just going to go for a quick regroup, see what the best they can do. Think about Sombra off them again. It's just Sombra's always on them.
That constant pressure from Sombra can be devastating if you're not paying adequate attention.
Absolutely, I can agree with that. Pushing up a little bit. Reaper might be trying to go for a little bit of a rounder route here. Looks like a ult from Otterbein's side. Yep. And ult from the other side from Huntington now. Only a few ults are going out now. Yep, as I thought, Sombra ult as well. And a fire at will from Zarya. See if they can go a little bit out there. Look at that Zarya ult might have gone for nothing. Ooh, Reaper, great damage from the anti, and their Mercy's down. Looks like Otterbein's gonna take that first objective off that team kill.
Excellent play. Excellently done.
Great anti by the Ana from Otterbein.
Otterbein has been showing some excellent teamwork throughout this entire match.
Looks like everything's starting to cohere a little bit more. I'm hoping that we get more wins down the road.
That's Sombra, always on there.
So we're back there again. Imagine again. I'm surprised that it was not banned at first sight. Oh, another ult by that Hazard, trying to find him before he rushes in.
Back to the
Great damage, pushing off to the little side. Bastion pushing right up. Bastion going out of the little hits. Great grenade for that hit.
following Zarya in, doing all that strong damage.
That's two. It looks like Otterbein's going to be pushing very close to that second objective.
Moving very fast towards that second.
Extremely. All right, looks like
It's going to be a lot of time added to this.
I can imagine. It's already 2 minutes, 50 seconds, which is typically a decent amount for a first checkpoint. A little hack. Looks like Bastion going for an ult here. Sombra Again, retreating away and then coming right back in. That Sombra's down. Good, get her
Otterbein
out
takes
of
that
here.
second checkpoint. Now, this
Start
is
Wu
when
Yang
things
down.
get-
That's a double kill for that Zarya.
This is when things get very hard for Otterbein, seeing as this is the last checkpoints.
I can imagine that choke point and that push. That's gonna be a very difficult push to take care of. 3 minutes 40 remaining in the match.
Otterbein pushing in strong.
Otterbein's pushing just very well. Looks like
Very
everything's
aggressive.
coming together.
Zarya does have her ult. That can feel a very strong ult when it comes to the Bastion ult as well.
Straight up.
Yeah, I think one of them.
Oh, and that's a Zarya ult to trap their entire
Bastion as
team.
well.
Oh my!
Beautiful damage.
Great ult by that Zarya. Just keep everyone together and then just
Excellently done.
throw damage into there. Throw it into there like laundry.
I just don't know how it could have been
Wow.
any prettier.
I'm shocked that that pulled off as well as it did. It looks like Otterbein might just make it right off that play. They might be able to just push it straight in.
Zarya's pressing very strong. This is going to be
Ult from their
very
Mercy,
close.
and that's an ult from their Wu Yang as well. Sorry, I pushed a little too far, and they would end up regretting that. Looks like a nano on that Bastion. It's a hack from that Sombra as well. Again, just Sombra picking off little bits and pieces from them. He's trying to push another thing from that Sombra. Their Bastion's down. There's a reverse to tide from our Wu Yang. And that On is down as well. Looks like Otterbein might need to take a little bit of time, make a final push. One great final push. I think they got it.
It'll be there. All it takes is just one last push, and
All it takes is one. It looks like we're starting to back the point up a little bit now.
not many ults on the field for either team, so this could just be a very raw dogfight when it comes to this last one.
I think it'd be more fun that way.
Definitely going to
Reaper
take some
trying to
excellent
push that
technique.
Sombra away. Reaper might be looking for a good play here. Staying up above, might be able to just drop right in and just throw some damage out.
Looks like Reaper's trying to focus
Great
on
damage
that
on
Sombra.
that.
keep
Yep,
him off
great
the back
damage on
line.
that Sombra. Almost playing like a safety.
Doing very well.
And that's a teleport directly on a point, and that takes out their Mercy.
Very
Wow.
strong pick.
Got right behind them.
And heading straight back down to
That another hazard ult. That's another trap.
unfortunately, Reaper does fall. Bastion doing some
That's
excellent damage though.
Great damage, but didn't really amount to much. 5-player kill streak. Are they gonna be able to move it in and keep that Sombra off? That Zarya might be able to make the solo play.
Right there.
And Zarya backing up a little bit, down to 77. And that Zarya's down as well. I just have to wait for that Zarya to come back.
Rest of Otterbein is pushing in strong.
We still got 1 minute remaining in the match. I'm gonna go push that in, and we'll go to game 4.
60 seconds remaining.
Otterbein looking like they're trying to gather their whole team for one last final push before the end.
Great grenade, trying to get some good damage picking off and just throw some things out. Water ring from Wu Yang onto that Bastion.
Sombra keeping constant pressure, as always. Doing an excellent job.
Bastion going straight in for that minigun. All right, going right into there. I appreciate that. And that's a Bastion ult. Gonna just throw in that artillery right there. We're not gonna count amount too much there neither. Zarya throwing a few shots. Ana's down. Looks is about to go down. Now Wu Yang's down. 15 seconds remaining in the match.
They're getting that good hazard pick. Taking a
Absolutely.
strong
Looks like there's
character out.
10 seconds remaining in the match to start. 5 seconds.
Very close now.
I think I want to bring it to overtime and push it in. Let's see. Zarya's down. Overtime timer is on. Venture looking to push in. And they got it.
Gets it. Gets excellent damage.
And that's a nano onto that Venture trying to keep them off that point. Throwing it right out.
Very strong damage from Otterbein.
Keeping it off the best they can. Will the rest of the team be able to go there to help out? Let's hope soon.
Venture does very
Oh
excellent
my goodness.
overtime.
That Venture's holding on as long as they can. They got a wrecking ball in there now just to try and play a bit more mobility. Bastion ult from Huntington. Wrecking ball goes down. Overtime timer's still going.
Otterbein switching as much as they can, trying to get as many mobile characters.
And it looks like it's still gonna be contested. Lucio just trying to hold on that mobility.
And
And oh my. Stupid long overtime counter.
And it
But
looks
oh
like
my,
Huntington
was it
takes
worth
this
it?
round.
Huntington will take that, and we'll go into game 4. Let's see what that play of the game may look like.
Play of the game.
Rock from Otterbein is Zarya. Let's see what this play looks like. Great nano. Pushing. Grenade, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. In one play.
Very
Definitely
well-deserved
deserving.
play.
Absolutely deserving from that Zarya. So what'd you think of that round?
I think that it was much more scrappy. It got very desperate during the last 45 seconds, especially leading into overtime.
Absolutely.
It was very, very tight. Otterbein was just trying to get in as much as possible, switch all their characters to as mobile as possible, just fighting desperately, but they ultimately was not able to get it.
Desperation times and more. Let's go into game 4, and we will catch you when we get into that game.
Absolutely.
Initiating match.
Jumping right back into it. Game 4 going right back into it. Here we are up in the booth.
Game 4.
Game 4. Happy to see it. Glad Otterbein is definitely making that progress. Looks like another interesting map. It looks like, yeah, this is a robot map this time.
Push map.
Same ones as we've seen. Again, same objective. Push the robot either on the blue side or the red side, and whoever gets the furthest within the amount of time allotted, I believe is 4 or 5 minutes, they win.
Now, this type of game mode, push, can be very difficult in terms of it's very quick when it comes to turning games around. Like, you can be winning the whole game, get it 5 meters within the end, but as soon as that other team starts their push, it can just be devastating for you.
Absolutely, I can agree with that. You got to maintain as much control as you can. Looks like Otterbein taking the Ramacho route with a Cassidy to back it up on the ranged side. Laurie put for that more pushed angle. I can definitely see you, especially with that railgun there. Lucio and Kiriko for some mobility. I can definitely see that. It looks like almost like a dive comp is what I'm seeing. Dive comp with a little bit of a bit more tanky of an edge.
Now, dive can be very difficult to play at times because it's very difficult to know when you're overextending or you're not.
I agree. All right, looks like Ramacho throwing out that shield. Great damage and going straight into a punch. Punch and block.
Serious damage there.
3 seconds left on that, and Ramacho's down. Looks like that Cassidy backing up, trying to get some good pokes and down as well. Same as their Kiriko and that Olari. Down as,
Taking heavy fire.
down as well.
Lucio running.
Lucio just running right back to their spawn to see if they can get a good speed boost in.
Probably the best goal.
Oh, Moms! They
All
have
right.
pushed farther than us.
Looks like they swapped out one of their supports for a Juno again. I believe more mobile, but definitely a bit more focus on speed boosts.
Lucio does an excellent job healing the whole team at once. Might be what Otterbein needs right here.
I agree. All right, great push in by Ramacho there.
Heavy fire again.
Some good pokes by that Cassidy. Trying to poke a little bit, and it looks like the Otterbein's got control of the robot now. After Huntington goes to 50, looks like Otterbein's taking it. We've got 8 minutes remaining in the match. Still.
We're on the move.
Macho just playing around a little bit, just trying to get that robot moving.
Trying to head off Huntington's next push. Make sure that they don't get to the robot. They can keep pushing.
See that? Throwing out a little bit of damage. Macho backing up. Okay, by using that shield here in a second. Yep, there it is. Obviously using the same idea, throwing out a little area poke. It looks like that their May already used their ults right there. Wow.
Serious amount of damage.
Otterbein took a little bit of damage there. Macho's down and their Cassie's down. Looks like their Lucio's down as well. And looks like their robot's right back into the control of Huntington.
Thanks for the help.
Huntington's playing excellently this game, keeping up strong pressure for every single teammate, picking them off one by one.
It's those little picks that matter.
All it takes is a single support and suddenly your team's down. That's why Overwatch is such a hard game in terms of competitive play. All it takes is one misplay.
Yep, you need all pieces to play with it. Looks like a Wu Yang ult from Huntington. Macho push in, gets stunned. Still going at it. Pushing straight in. Still at 3-2-1 on their ability. And looks like the robot's right back into Otterbein's control.
This is going to be a very tough match for both sides.
Extremely tough match. I got Macho throwing a little bit of damage out there. See if they can just pick anyone off. Interesting animation by that Cassidy. I can say that. Come up a little bit, throwing out a few little pokes.
The lead is ours.
Get some strong damage on Huntington. Keeping it
Great
back.
poke, a few criticals there as well. Again, if you can just get those little bits of damage, it looks like Huntington has the robot back in their control. Otterbein, and now it's back in Otterbein's control.
Some serious shots here with the cat.
Backing up a little bit, and that's a breakdown from Lucio. Adding some shield on some folks. Targeting that Mercy. Definitely one of those greater
Getting him down.
triggers. Yep,
Shutting down
great
her
hit.
ultimate. Very well done. Very well done.
Extremely, yeah, very well done by Otterbein. keep it a push. Will they be able to get it to that first checkpoint? Will be my question. If they get to that first checkpoint, they got even more to go.
Yep. Otterbein almost tying it up. with Huntington right here.
Otterbein's now at 445. So they're just about to hit that second checkpoint.
Almost there. All they gotta do is just keep Huntington far back. Cassidy
And
does
looks
have
like they've
ult.
taken the lead now. Perfect.
Cassidy
Now,
ult.
high noon by Cassidy. Is it going to do anything? Maybe throwing a little bit of damage. No, can get blocked right off.
Wow.
Wow.
Excellent play from the man.
A bit cheesy from that Mei.
That's one very hard thing to
And that's
take
an
for
ult
Cassidy.
from that Mei as well. Great slide to get out of there.
Cassidy's a very hit or miss character with his ult. If they're not paying attention,
Just target that Mei as best you can. Walls out, trying to throw away. And down.
Otterbein keeps control
Thanks.
Keeps control of the robot. Keeps control of the game.
and is extending their lead on Huntington.
So again, if Otterbein wins this game, they win the entire match.
Huntington doing a very strong job when it comes to keeping that lead. It was a bit of a rough start, but doing very well to extend their lead.
I can say that. I can agree with that. Absolutely. All right, pushing back a little bit. Looks like Huntington has control of the robot once again. Good few bits. That shield's already down. Oh my, that was quick.
Lots of pressure coming up.
I can say that. Looks like Michael Question maybe use that ult. Great blocking. Gets their staff back, throws out that temporary damage, and that shield once again as well. Great move by that Ramatra. Oh my.
Huntington's Bastion is doing a very strong job of keeping it back, applying some excellent pressure to Otterbein's tank.
Agree backs up a little bit, trying to stay with their supports. Look, Huntington's gonna have control of the robot again at about 60 meters now.
Enemy team is pushing.
Well, that gets frozen, and that Ramatra's down. Just could not stay mobile enough for that from that Mei. Cassidy throwing like a few shots. I didn't even know he had a zoom shot yet.
I think it's a recent perk that they added with the new update.
With the new perk system.
Yes, sir.
All right. Great push, great speed boost. Getting right up into there. Oh my. That's an ult from their Bastion.
And Cassidy. Cassidy gets 3 kills.
Wow, great shots.
You don't see that often when it comes to
Yeah, typically I'd imagine you just be walled off and move on. Wall him off and you're fine. Especially when it comes to his ult.
as soon as they hear high noon,
Just
they
Walk him
run.
up. Walk him up or find some cover. Otterbein back in control of the robot. It looks like now nobody has control over it, and they might just be fighting a distant battle. Good shots by that Cassidy. Orisa swapped in instead of their pass tank being a Ramatra. I've been just throwing some more long-range ideas out there. Orisa getting some great heals, pushing right up into there.
Orisa is always a very strong choice when it comes to tanks, being able to deflect bullets and get a lot of damage done.
I agree, and with her lance, just being able to block up damage like that, be deadly.
She can shut off a very large amount of ults and strong attacks with that. So it is an excellent anti-push tool.
I agree, I agree. All right, backing up. Looks like Huntington's back control of the robot, and they're a little bit ahead of Otterbein. That's going to change here soon as they go up to a little past 100 meters now.
This is going to be a very difficult match for both teams, absolutely.
Yep, it's gonna be a tough stretch back for Otterbein now. May using herself an ice blue, and looks like Orisa's down. A breakdown from that Lucio. Trying to get a bit of movement in there, so that Tracer might be taking on enough damage just to try and just move up out of there. Tracer backing away.
Applying some very strong side pressure.
Recall by that Tracer. Looks like Huntington's pretty much knocking on the doorstep of Otterbein now.
It's go time.
It's going to be very hard for Otterbein to recover from being this
I can
close.
imagine. Pushed up a little bit. Fate. Pushing in there. Throws a bomb right onto them. Oh my. Wow. Great throw.
Beautiful pulse.
Recent push, just trying to throw out a little bits of damage, maybe even target that Mei, unless that Mei's gonna go for the freeze. What's that?
Check Otterbein's back.
Way. Yep, Otterbein's got the robot back. Looks like that robot's gonna go as far as he can. Hopefully, Otterbein can take it a little bit further than they can and pull away with a win.
Otterbein's Ariso applying some great pressure to the Mei, taking that kill, sending him right back to spawn.
Absolutely, I can agree on that. I can agree on that play. As if you can keep them in their spawn, it'll be the greatest play you can make. Great mobility from that Tracer, just trying to throw a few pokes out there. Just trying to even them up, throw a little bits of damage, and soften them up for the rest of the squad behind her.
Even that little amount of damage and pressure can be enough to distract Huntington from the main push.
Exactly. Great recall to get that health back. Wow, took out a whole enemy right there. Took out the Oriso. Wow, and that Mei. Whoa, 10-player kill streak there. Great play by that Tracer to get right into their back line.
She's got her pulse bomb too, so this could be a very hard push to stop from Huntington.
Looks like it just hit overtime. Is Otterbein going to be able to take it back and make it even further than they need to?
Tracer going in for that strong
Great damage, great pulse. Throws out the bomb, gets a kill. Great job by that Tracer.
Excellently done by Otterbein's Tracer.
Great damage, but it's not going to be enough to stop that Mercy. Oh, cut that Kiriko right before the ult.
It's a melee kill too. Very
Wow.
impressive.
That's gotta be play right there. I don't care what that Tracer's done. That's gotta be play right there. Stop in the middle of the ult with a melee.
Just getting started.
Such amazing plays from this Tracer for the past, even just the past 30 seconds. They're doing an excellent job keeping this push alive.
Absolutely, looks like.
Look at that.
And that's an Otterbein win. First of the season for Otterbein off a very tough last round.
Look at that. Otterbein is now 1-4.
That's 1-4 for Otterbein, 0-5 for Huntington. Let's see this play of the game by that Mei.
Wow.
Okay. Great ice beam. A few more icicles there. And that's going to be play of the game. Looks like Otterbein taking away their first win of the season. What are we thinking?
I think that both teams played very strong, especially in that game 4. It was very, very scrappy.
Very scrappy. I agree.
Back and forth the entire
I'm glad to
game.
see Otterbein taking their first win. There's a few things to clean up. I can definitely see that.
Absolutely.
But so far, it's looking like a big improvement. I think Otterbein has their turning point of the season right here.
It looks like it's only up from here.
Yep, it can only go up from here.
Yes, sir.
This is Logan Castle,
This is Dane Marburger.
and we are signing off. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.